I'm doing two deep fried turkeys, two different ways. Kind of an experiment. I'm doing one that is brined. I actually put it in the brine last night, and what the brine consists of is about 3.5 gallons of water. I've got 2 cups of kosher salt, 1 cup of brown sugar, and I heated the sugar and the salt up in a pot and added that to the cold water, submerged the turkey and covered it with ice. And that is basically the brine in a nutshell. Like I said, one turkey with a brine, one turkey without. This is deep fried turkey, and you got to inject deep fried turkey. That's just the way it is. So I've got 2 different injections. A couple of years ago, I did a smoked turkey, and I did a really Cajunized injection on that, and it was awesome. I'm going to show you how to make that. We're going to inject one turkey with this particular injection, and on the second one, I'm using this Tony Chachere's. This is injectables made by Tony Chachere's butter and jalapeno. There's a better look at it. Comes with its own needle, which I might use that needle or I might use the other one. Not sure yet. So we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a few minutes with this injection. Going to do it first because I've got to put it together, take it inside, heat it up to dissolve the salt, melt the butter, and then let it cool off before I can inject the turkey. Be right back. This is the Cajun injection that I'm actually putting together. We're going to start off with 1 cup of 100% real lemon juice. I will be measuring all this out. 1 cup going in. Now that seems like a lot of lemon juice, but believe me, when it's all said and done, lemon will not be the predominant flavor. It's just there to help it pop and really bring out the other flavors. So, into that, I'm adding 1 cup of chicken broth. 1 cup going in. Now into that, a 1/2 cup of liquid crab oil. This is a concentrate. This is an 8-ounce bottle, which is 1/2 of a cup. Pouring the entire contents. Seems like a lot, don't it? Believe me, it's good. Got 1 tablespoon of kosher salt going in. You want to use like a kosher, a flake type salt that will dissolve completely so it don't clog up your needles. So that's why I'm going with kosher salt. What I'm adding now is garlic juice. Now this can be kind of hard to find. I can find it locally, and you might have a hard time trying to find this. And if you go to Amazon or somewhere, they want an arm and a leg for it. So if you have a juicer, you could possibly juice your own garlic juice. The object here is to not clog up the needle, so all I want is the juice. And, oh, it just screams garlic. 1 tablespoon of the garlic juice going in. In addition to that, we got onion juice. Same thing. If you can't find this, use a juicer. Juice your own onion juice or extract it the best way you know how. Just don't put the whole onion in there. You will clog up your needles. 1 tablespoon of this going in. This would not be a Cajun style deep fried turkey without Louisiana hot sauce. One of my all-time favorites. 1 tablespoon of that going in. There we go, 1 tablespoon. Just added 1 stick of salted butter, and that's it. That's all the ingredients. I have to take it indoors. We're going to heat this up to melt the butter and dissolve the kosher salt to where we won't run into any problems while injecting this bird. Be right back. Got the injection in there cooling off, so I figured it'd be a real good time to figure out how much oil we need to put in this pot. And the way you do that is well, I'm going to show you how to do that. But first, let me take and cut off some of this excess skin. This skin is actually holding the legs together on this bird, and that's not needed for the method we're using. On the front of this, I've got a lot of skin right here. We're just going to cut that off. And looky there, there's something in that neck. Make sure your turkey doesn't have anything in its cavity. Turkey neck. And by the way, this is the one that was brined, so all these innards got brined as well. Just took it out of the briner bucket and got it here. I'm going to try to keep up with which one is which. Now you got this little tail section here that really don't serve any use. Going to cut that off as well. And we got this little bit of excess where they had the legs tied up on both ends. And that's really all the trimming we're going to do. Just get that off of there. All right, that one's pretty clean. I'm gonna do the same thing on this one. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna figure out how much oil to put into this pot. I just put an X right here because the one that has been brined is going on this one. The one that has not been brined is going on this one. This will help me keep track of which one is which. That is etched into the aluminum, so that's not going anywhere. We're gonna take and lower this turkey straight down like this. 2 turkeys at one time using a tunnel tube 60-quart turkey fryer. This is a self-contained turkey pot. It's got its own built-in 55,000 BTU banjo burner with the tunnel tube technology under that, which means this is a performance pot, which means it will not drop way down drastically as you lower these turkeys in. It's going to maintain that temperature, which is going to produce some outstanding turkeys. Now let me show you how we gauge how much oil to go in. So we're going to lower these 2 turkeys into this 60-quart turkey pot, just like that. Remove our hanger, and from here I'm going to add water until we're covered over the turkeys, and I'll show you from there. So normally after brining a turkey, the first thing you would do would be rinse all that brine off of it. So this is gonna like kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak, no pun intended. But anyway, we got our water here, and we're just gonna fill this pot up until, like I said, they are completely covered. All right, so we are completely submerged just under these legs. So I'm gonna pull these turkeys out, and wherever this water level falls is where the oil needs to come up to. Let all the water run out. All right, I'm going to make a mark. I tried a Sharpie, but it's just not gonna work, it's too wet. I know, it makes you cringe when you see somebody do that to a knife. Okay, I got it, I can see it, good enough. We're gonna drain this water out. And it's very important to get this pot very, very dry. You don't want no water in this. Water and oil does not mix, so that means we have to dry our turkeys extremely well as well. So yeah, if you're going to do 2 turkeys at one time, both turkeys need to weigh the same thing, give or take a few ounces. Otherwise, if you had a 12-pound turkey versus a 10-pound turkey, your 10-pound will be done before the 12-pound. So try to match them. These look identical. And so, instead of going, like time 3.5 minutes per pound, you don't do that for 2 turkeys. You're still wanting to time that for 1 turkey. Because they're not together, you don't have the mass of 1 big, huge turkey. You got 2 smaller turkeys that will cook at the exact same rate. So this is the one that I brined, and this is the one that I did not. And so these are 10-pound turkeys. 10 pounds to 12 pounds is ideal for frying. And doing 2 at one time, I figured the 10-pound would do really good. Your inside is going to be done when your outside is just right. So all I'm doing is just blotting these birds dry. We're going to do the inside cavity. We're going to do everywhere that we got moisture. So I'm getting ready to inject one of these birds. I'm going to inject the one that has been brined. This is where we're using the Tony Chachere's butter and jalapeno. We're going to shake this bottle up, get a good mix on it. We're going to pour this into a measuring cup to where I can just pull it into my syringe from there. Okay, pour this into our 1 cup here. This stuff's pretty thick. And I think I'm just going to use the needle that came with it. No reason not to. Just pull that into our syringe. I usually start right here in the breast, and I'll just make a line down, a line here, and a line here. And so I'm not going to bore you with this entire process, but basically just run through here. About a bite size apart is what you want to do. Every bite you should be tasting this seasoning. Now I'll come back and do more with the breast, but also you want to do your legs, and I will shoot that in a couple of spots as well. Get some more injection. Do some here on the inside. And also your wings. I will do all this off camera. I'm just showing you how I'm doing it. Just kind of get up against that bone. One thing I forgot to mention while injecting that bird, thighs. Make sure you get your thighs too. All right, he's fully injected. Man, it's cold out here. We're like in the low 50s. It's been going down to close to freezing at night. Still dealing with a few flies. So anyway, this is the marinade or the injection that I made earlier. And we're going to pour this right into our pump up injector. Still a little warm, but it's fine. We'll give all this a good shake prior to pumping. Give it a good shake. That's feeling pretty firm. We're going to lock that in. Let's work the air out of this injector here. And there we go. So this goes a lot faster. Same thing. Gonna go into your breast. Get in at about 3 different lines there. You can see the turkey expanding. We're getting all that goodness in there. Into our thighs. So, do you season the bird before it goes in the hot oil or afterwards? I've seen it done both ways. I've done it both ways. But for experiment purposes, since we're doing a brine and a non-brine, let's do a rub before and a rub after. I've got the Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Since we're using the Tony Chachere's Creole injection, I figured that would have to pair good. So we're just going to dust the skin on this. All right, so I'm going to flip this bird over, get some on the back side. Let's get all this water off of here first. So again, we just apply it right to the skin on the back side. The last thing I've done is I got some butcher's twine. I'm tying these legs up, and I'm kind of taking a lot of the weight off of this bird. As you can see, we're going to wrap it this way also. Tie us a good knot in that. I'll do the other bird the exact same way. And all this is doing is helping this bird sit up better. I've taken the wing tips and I've folded them to the back of the turkey, as you can see here. And that'll stop them tips from coming out here and burning as bad. So that's looking pretty good, other than I need to touch up the seasoning just a touch. Just about to lose my voice out here. All right, I'm gonna truss this one up, do it the same way, and I'll bring you right back when we get ready to put oil in the tunnel tube. All right, we're gonna start adding the oil, and here's the mark that I made earlier right here, so I'll keep my eye on that. It's probably gonna take about 8 gallons. There's 3 gallons in each one of these containers. I've got my oil up to my fill line. This is almost 8 gallons of cooking oil, which can get kind of expensive. So normally I don't attempt doing this unless I'm gonna do like 5, 6 birds, have a lot of people over that, or sell them. You know, if you're gonna sell them, you could do 20 birds, then you're getting your money's worth for the amount of oil you're using. If you're just using a single bird, there are smaller pots for that, but this is ideal for 2 birds. And I'm one that believes that 2 10-pound birds is a whole lot better than 1 20-pound bird. Not only the way it comes out, but you get double wings, double legs. It's just a lot better. So we're gonna fire this pot up. I'll be monitoring this with an analog type thermometer as well as my laser thermometer. We're shooting for around 350, maybe a tad over. There will be some drop in temperature that you can expect. 2 turkeys going in. So I'm probably gonna bring it up to around 360, start lowering the turkeys in. And if it fries somewhere between 325 and 350, we'll be good. Okay, we are up to 360 degrees on our oil. We're going to start easing it in ever so slowly. Do not rush this. The moisture, the water that's getting into the oil is creating like a violent reaction. So you got to just ease it in very slowly. All right, so I put that in about 402. It's going to take roughly 35 minutes for both of these birds to get done. I will be temping them. I'll pull them up and temp them. As you can see, the violent reaction when you first lower that in there, the last thing you want to do is just dunk a turkey in there. It gets really violent. It starts spilling all over, and that's what causes your grease fires. We're doing good. It's starting to calm down a little bit, and all we do now is wait. And like I said, at 35 minutes, pull it out, take a look at it, or pull it up, take a look at it, and do a temp check, see where we're at. Well, we are ready. We're not even at 35 minutes. We're more like 33, 34 minutes. Just temped them. They're actually above what I was shooting for, but that's fine. And here we go. All right, I'm going to transfer these over to the cutting board, and we're going to just let them hang out and rest. So this bird has not been seasoned. So what I'm using is Creole Kick. This is made by Sweet Smoky Joe. Never tried this. It's a Creole type seasoning. Smells good. Ooh, yeah. All right, so we're just gonna just shake a little bit of that around while it's still hot. Almost like seasoning fries after they come out of the deep fryer. Same principle. Now this is where we're gonna find out if brining a turkey for deep frying gives better results than not brining. Both were injected, so that part's basically the same. So in case you don't understand what a brine does, most turkeys that you buy in a store, probably all the turkeys you buy in a store, have already been somewhat brined. They have been shot up with a solution, you know, a saline type solution with salt and things of that nature. It also added weight to the final purchase of the turkey, a little trick they use. But when you drop it into your own brine, whatever's inside that turkey, the salt in your brine pulls all of that out of the turkey, and it mixes, it dilutes your brine somewhat, and it mixes, and then it goes back into the turkey. But with it, it takes all the additional seasonings that you might add to a brine, such as peppercorns or allspice or bay leaf or whatever you put in that brine. Now it's taking it into the meat. So it's not just like a store-bought shot up turkey. You are actually adding flavor. But an injection supposedly, will give you more flavor because it's a direct injection into the meat. So a combination of both might just be the ticket. We're fixing to find out right now if that was even worth the brine. Let's carve into this. The breast to me is always a telltale sign on any kind of poultry to tell how you're done. So we're just gonna cut a piece off here. By the way, this is a nice crisp on this skin. Whew. It's still piping hot. I really should let it rest a little bit more. As you can see, the steam, really juicy. Nice and juicy. That's what you would expect from a brine turkey on the breast. I'm gonna cut that piece smaller. That's got a fantastic flavor. Now let's see, that was the jalapeno butter injection that I used on that. Fantastic. Let's try a piece off this non-brine with our powerhouse of a Cajun type injection. That's some really good stuff. This is going to have a whole different flavor. There again, we're going to cut a little piece off just for the taste. Here we go. I would say the brine would win. If you're going to deep fry a turkey, a lot of people don't think you can brine a turkey and also deep fry. You can. I just showed you can do that. Whatever you do, if you've never done this before, please be careful. It can go south on you very fast. Things can go wrong. Make sure you got your turkey pot way away from the house, and in case of a fire, you can contain it. And if you follow everything I've done on this video, you know you shouldn't have no problems with it, none whatsoever. And I think you'll become addicted to deep frying turkeys just like I have. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, smoke your ribs.